What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Huddle Wisdom podcast. My name is Davin. I'm a child and youth forensic psychiatrist coming to you from a peaceful evening here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Today, I want to talk with you about something that touches just about every parent that I've worked with, especially those raising sensitive, intense, or anxious children. There is a quiet sort of panic that I often hear from people, parents. They try explaining, they try soothing, comforting, the sucky things that you put in your kids' mouths, lollipops, ice cream, money, distraction, collaborative problem solving. And still the meltdowns, the tension, the fear, the stomach aches, the headaches, the hitting, the wailing, it just keeps coming. So the question then is, why isn't this working? Am I doing something wrong? My usual response is something along the lines of, you're not doing it wrong. Perhaps you're trying to fix something that does not need fixing. What? What do you mean? That may sound strange, and it is strange because anxiety is so incredibly distressing for you and your child. But it is not a broken part to remove. It is something that we need to face and something that we need to understand first. Let's unpack this. Let's think of a familiar scenario which I am sure most of you can relate to. Your child's stomach aches before school. Last night you talked to them. Hey, tomorrow we're gonna do this routine. We're gonna have breakfast at this time. We're gonna get your bag at this time. We're gonna get your homework at this time. I'm gonna make a list. I'm gonna put that list on the fridge. So when you get your breakfast, you do all the things on the list, and then you know that you'll be ready for school. And then you get your bag when it's time for school, and then we're gonna go in the car. We're going to drive to school, and then we're going to get out of the car, and then we're going to go into the school. That's going to be great. And then your kid says, yes, I know, that's great. Let's do this. Let's do this. We can do this. Thank you so much, Dad, for that encouragement. We can do this. And then tomorrow comes, and it's chaos, disaster. Anxiety kicks in. Oh man, I've got a stomach ache. Did you do the thing, the list on the fridge there? No, I wasn't. No. I'm just gonna go back to sleep. I'm not hungry. And then it starts. We're gonna be late. We're gonna be late. Remember we talked about this yesterday? Don't you remember? Yeah, but yeah, I just right. Avoiding parties. Maybe they collapse into tears at really small things that you have no idea why they are collapsing. Such a small thing. But our instinct is to want to try and figure out, right, what's going on. And we should. But then we rush in and we try and fix. We try and fix things. We try and rush and correct things. We say, look, hey, not a big deal, right? You are okay. Come on out, go to the fridge, look at the list, go down the list, tick them off one by one, have your breakfast. Just breathe, man. We just breathe. So we're trying to be supportive, we're trying to be logical, efficient, we're trying to be loving. But anxiety, when it comes, does not live in logic. It lives in the nervous system. And man, man, it is overstaying. It does not have a visa. When it takes hold, right, it takes over your child's nervous system, your child's brain then starts to react as though there is real danger, even though there isn't any real danger. It's a perception of danger. So even if you can see that there's nothing to fear, your child will still feel unsafe when their nervous system is kicking into gear. Anxiety is not a flaw to correct. Perhaps their brain is just working too well to keep them safe. There are reasons for that. Anxious behavior, then, is often just the surface expression or manifestation of your child trying to deal with an overloaded nervous system. Let's eject all these oh my gosh, immigrants. They don't have a visa. We need to kick them out. Kick them out. They're running all over the place. Actually, it's the system that's the problem. Your child may not have the words, so it comes out as avoidance, outbursts, shutdowns, spiraling meltdowns. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then when we respond by rushing to calm them, even with the best of intentions, the message that lands is often, this emotion must end. This version of me is unmanageable. I'm only safe when I'm calm. So we might not use those words exactly, explicitly, but it is taken in implicitly. Our urgency speaks volumes. So Davin, hang on, man. What actually helps? I know I'm being a little bit provocative, and there's a good reason why I'm doing that. Well, I think it's a good reason. And that is to inspire, hopefully make people listen, pay attention a little bit. Not fixing, not explaining. We don't need to rush in with logic because it doesn't work in the heat of the moment. We don't throw charts at our children when they're spiraling into a meltdown, right? Doesn't make sense. You don't do this, I don't do this. But we do crazy stuff, like we try and use logic. You might as well throw a chart at your child, right? Breathing techniques. Just breathe, man. Just breathe. The second anxiety appears, just breathe, okay? So easy. Instead, we need to shift our gears. We need to slow down. Notice your own pace. Slow down. Reflect what you see. This feels too much right now. This feels too much right now for you, doesn't it? I'm going to stay close. Okay, I'm not going to be intrusive. I'm just going to be available. I'm going to leave you some space, but I'm here. I'm right here. You can see me. I can see you. You're right here. We're right here together. Let's have this intensity, and let's hold this intensity as it dissipates. And it sounds so simple, but it's anything but easy, okay? But it has to be done, in my opinion. By the way, speaking of opinion, nothing on this podcast should be seen as medical or psychiatric advice, okay? This is just for educational and informational purposes. I don't know your situation. I'm not your doctor. I'm not your psychiatrist. You might be if you want my patience. But this episode is not supposed to be about giving you medical psychiatric advice, okay? If you need help and you're struggling, go and seek help. This is all just my opinion. You can take it or leave it. Anyway, with that said, okay, don't sue me. I don't think you can now. Can you? I don't know. After that disclaimer, who cares? It sounds simple, but it's not easy, right? Nothing that we do in parent land is Easy. Doing less, okay, listen, doing less while staying connected can feel like doing nothing, but it is exactly what you need to be doing. Doing by doing, you're doing something by doing less, or it appears like you're doing less, but it's not. And this is some of the most emotionally demanding parenting that you will ever do. But this is where the real work begins. This is where the real work begins. When children learn that they can have strong, powerful feelings, but still remain in relationship, in uh, staying connected with you, they stop fearing the feeling itself. They won't like it. You won't like it, but it is now survivable. Eventually, it becomes navigable. Is that a word? Navigable? You know, when you navigate something. They don't learn this because you fixed something. They learn this because you did not disappear. Does that make sense? Let me say that again. They learn this because you did not disappear. You stayed, you slowed down, you breathed, you did not rush in to end the discomfort. That's where the healing happens. That's where resilience, true resilience, starts to happen, starts to develop. Sorry. So if you have found yourself caught up in this fix it loop, you're definitely in good company. Most of us have. I have. But next time your child's anxiety shows up, maybe ask yourself this, use this as a little bit of a structure. Davin, do I need to fix this right now? Do I really need to fix this right now? Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do if there's safety considerations, right? But most things don't. If you don't believe me, go and keep a logbook. Okay, keep a logbook. Or can I simply be with them while they feel this discomfort? 2 questions. Do I need to fix this now? Can I just simply be with them while they feel this discomfort? And that small shift in mindset from control to connection can be so transformative. It is a small shift in mindset, but it's like, when you're, by the way, I don't do any boating, but I imagine it might be, this might be a thing. You kind of move the rudder on a boat ever so slightly, a small angle. That can have a massive impact on where you end up down the road, right? A small little change in an angle, affects the entire trajectory of your journey. It's just a small shift, in mindset. Every time you stay near without taking over, every time you let the wave pass without paddling in for them, you build their capacity to face discomfort and to return to connection to you. So that's not fixing. I know you're not fixing, but man, it is more than enough. Connection first, and then correction second. Thanks for joining me for this conversation, my friends. If you're looking for more support on how to stay calm, clear, connected in those messy parenting moments, I invite you to explore my audio course, Parenting for Anxious Children. It goes deeper into the things we've talked about today and offers practical tools and insights for those real world moments. Until next time, my friends, be gentle with yourself, okay? You, believe it or not, are doing better than you think. My friends, thank you so much for joining me. I hope to catch you on the next episode, whenever that is. All right. Cheers. Bye.